Hello everyone and welcome back to Facebook Finds. I know I just did an episode last week, but I just found this really cool lot of stuff and I had to make a video about it. Now the last episode was Trackmaster stuff and this is all Trackmaster stuff. I'm really trying to build up that collection in time to make my collection video later this year. So when I found this, I just had to grab it. So we are in a different location for this episode. I actually just got back from vacation. I was in Florida this past week, and when I left, I found this lot that was right by my house, but I was like, oh man, I'm leaving. I'm not even around home anymore, so I can't get it. I'm hoping it's going to be available when I get back. And on the drive back up, I look, and it's still available. So I contact the seller, and we grabbed it just on our way home. So I'm at my parents' house right now. I'm filming this literally the morning after we got back, so it wouldn't be worth it just to take it all the way to my house. And I want to look at this now because it's really cool. So let's see what we got here. Oh, it's a really big bag. So we've got a lot of stuff here. Again, it's mostly Mattel stuff, a couple Hit Toys things, and a couple of Trackmaster 2 things. But we have a good variety of stuff here. Before we start, I just want to mention how interesting the bag is. I didn't know Ziploc actually made bags this big. That's kind of funny. But let's take a look at the item that is immediately grabbing my attention. Boko! Woo! I have wanted Boko for so long. He's such a hard character to find, and I'm so happy I finally have him. I don't want to sound ungrateful, but I do prefer the Mattel one, so if I do find a good deal for a Mattel one on eBay or something, I think I'm going to sell this, but for now, this is a perfect placeholder. He's in good condition. He's got a bit of a chip on his nose there, but that's not too big of a deal. I can come in and touch that up, but yeah, I don't know if these are all working. Doesn't seem like it. What's so great about the Hit Toys items is that the way you, like, take them off their chassis is really easy. You don't have to unscrew anything. You can literally just squeeze them and they pop off. I don't want to break it though. Oh, no battery. That's okay. Cool. I apologize. Before we go any further, I apologize if my voice sounds a bit congested. My allergies haven't been great recently, and I'm just getting over them, but my voice does still sound a bit congested, so I apologize for that. But yeah, there is Boko. And I believe Boko came with like a cream-colored caboose. So we'll take a look at that in a minute. Here's another one that I was really excited to get. Hero. I had a Trackmaster 2 Hero growing up, but I didn't really like that. I didn't like how we had the normal spoked wheels, whereas on the Mattel, or I guess the Hit Toy and Mattel Hero, he has the unique Hero style wheels, and I think it looks really cool. But this is a really nice toy. He looks so strong and powerful. I'm not a huge fan of this Hero face. I think this is based off of that model face that was made right around the tail end of like season 12 or something. I kind of wish this was the CGI face, but it's still a good face, or a decent face nonetheless. But yeah, I believe, oh yeah, right there. Here's his tender. There we go. That looks really cool. And this is the Mattel one. Nice. Alrighty, so I noticed, or I realized while I was editing the last two episodes that these go on forever, so I'm going to try and speed these up. We've got a bag here. Don't work. Oh, that's unfortunate. But we've got a, flip face Thomas. Let's go. I believe there's a complete RC Thomas at Timoth Shed set in here, so that's pretty cool. I've never had a flip face Thomas, so I'm really excited to have one. He seems a bit sticky. I don't want to mess around with this because I don't actually know how it works. I'll mess around with it in due time though, but yeah, pretty cool. Oh, a little corrosion right there. I hope the battery compartment isn't too bad, but cool. If it doesn't work, that's okay. It's cool that I actually have one. And I really like the flip face Thomas. Excuse me. He's got that really nice white running board, which the normal Thomas doesn't have. So, yeah. Pretty cool. Let's set him right here. And then we also have an Edward who is, a bit worse for wear here. Oh no, that's not good. Poor guy. I don't think he'll work, so I'll probably have to throw this up on eBay, and someone else can probably fix it. But I already have an Edward, so it's not too big of a loss in my opinion. But oh, it's a hit toy one. Cool. Alrighty. I feel a battery in here, so he might work, but I don't think so. I think that blue wire is supposed to be connected in order for him to work, but yeah, poor Edward. I'll send you off to a better place. Let's see. We've got a Trackmaster 2 Ryan who works. Lovely. I already have a Ryan, so this will be going away. Put you right here. Oh, I believe this came with Ryan, as did this. We've got a Mighty Mac. Really cool. I just got one of these guys back in like August or so it's cool to have another one, but don't really need two, so he'll be going away. I believe his coach is in here somewhere. We'll see that later. Here is the brake van that goes to Boko. Nice. I think I've got, let's see, I've got a black one, a red one, and a blue one. So it's cool to have a cream one now. We've got a standard, or I guess not standard, but a troublesome truck with a Xbox controller mouth. I'll throw him right here. We've got a diesel who does not work. Well, there is a battery in him. I really like the Mattel diesel. I love the Mattel items that have the painted eyes. That looks really cool. But I'm gonna keep this one. I do have a diesel, but I was an idiot child. I had the glow in the dark diesel with those two troublesome trucks, and he had like white specks all around him. Didn't like that, so I used a Sharpie and colored all over him to make him just standard black, but now I have a regular one, so I don't know what I'll do. But yeah, that's cool to have this one. We got some track here. Nothing too remarkable. I'll just throw this off on the floor here. We've got a Peter Sam. If I'd gotten this lot like 3 months ago, I would have been so excited for this, but I just bought a Peter Sam off of Wooden Fan 1 earlier this year, so this is kind of redundant, and that was the Hit Toys one. And I believe that was one of the last Hit Toys models ever released. I'm not as knowledgeable about Trackmaster as I am Wooden Railway. I don't think Playrail ever made or has ever made Peter Sam, so that's kind of cool that Hit Toys and Mattel made him. But I can feel a battery in here, so I hope he still works, but cool. And his brake van is right here. Oh, a little damaged up there. That's not too bad. I really wanted this brake van, so it's cool that I finally have one. This Peter Sam will probably go on eBay, but I'm definitely gonna keep this. Cool, I'll throw you over here as well. There we go. Got a Henry. Oh, what? He still has his lights? Okay, so as a kid, I had Edward, Henry, Gordon, and James. Edward, Gordon, and James were the tender-powered ones, but I didn't get a Henry until like 2014. And he was the like 2011, 2012 one where his tender was detachable. So I'm just so used to that one. I never had like a 2010 Henry, and I was surprised to see that it actually has his flying kipper lights on the front. That is very interesting. And he still works. Nice. This is definitely a keeper for me. I don't hate the 2012 one or whatever. I just don't really like that face. But I think the face on here is pretty cool, so I'm definitely going to keep this. There is a bit of wear on his tender, but that's not too big of a deal. Yeah, I've always loved the Trackmaster Henry. I think they got his proportions very well. Although his splasher here technically should be half cut off, but whatever. That's a nice one. I'm definitely going to keep that. Let's see. We've got a Oh, I was going to say we got a Stanley here, but his funnel is broken. I was really excited to actually get a Stanley, but looks like I'm going to have to get rid of him now. I'm actually not a huge fan of the Trackmaster Stanley. I don't like how he has this splasher here. I'm looking into getting the Play Rail one, but who knows. This is the Hit Toys one. Pretty cool. And he still works. That's cool. He just looks kind of naked without his funnel. I guess I didn't realize that in the picture. Oh well. I'm going to throw him right next to Hero right there. It's kind of odd how Stanley never got a Trackmaster 2 model. Here's Thomas. Bit of corrosion on the side there. Not too bad. Yeah. He does not work. That's totally fine, though. But I already have one of these Thomases, so he will be the proud owner. Or not the proud owner. He will be in someone else's collection soon. You've got a coal hopper truck thing. Oh, this is... I thought this was Mattel. Because I actually have, like, 3 Mattel ones. This is actually from... I presume Hit Toys. Maybe it's Tomy. I don't know, but interesting. I'll throw you right back here. Here is a Toby. Oh, that's... Oh, he's kind of broken on the side there. It looks like they tried to, like, squeeze this off and didn't unscrew this. Oh, well. He still works. You can actually see the battery in there. That's kind of funny. I hope I don't get shot for saying this. I think the Trackmaster Mattel Toby is miles better than the Play Rail or the standard Tomy Toby. I really like this face a lot. It looks so much better than his Play Rail one. Yeah. I already have a Toby, so don't really need another one. Toby was another character I never had as a kid. I don't know why, but I just never got him. Here's Samson, who was not working. Again, I already have a Samson, so I don't really need another one. Let's throw him right there. Oh, he kind of came off of his chassis. And here's one of his dinosaur flatbeds. I don't think the dinosaurs are in here, which is not terrible, I guess. Here is Emily's tender, which still works. And here is Emily. I'm still shocked at how light she is. It's shocking. But this is a Mattel one. Cool. Wooden Fan 1, if you're watching this, you are texting me right now, and you are being very irritating. Just kidding. Come on, there we go. Yeah. I already have an Emily, so don't really need another one. We've got a Hit Toys Rusty again, just like last time. He's in the on position, so he's probably not going to be working. But I can feel a battery in here. Cool. Don't really need a... I think I have 4 Rusties, now that I think about it. Also don't need a 4th one. Here is Scruff. But this is the Trackmaster 2 one, but he works. I think I actually, in some cases, prefer the Trackmaster 2 Scruff over the regular Scruff. Maybe it's because I had this Scruff before the Scruff I got in the last video. And also his back coupling is the right length. But no, this is not a terrible model. It's so weird, though, how it was this, Samson, and Flynn in, like, that first wave of Trackmaster 2 items. That's so odd how this was one of the first ones and not, like, Thomas or Gordon or something. Maybe they were, but I don't know. But in terms of, like, the 3 packs, it went Samson, Scruff, Flynn, which was odd. But oh, well, I don't work for Mattel. You never see that nowadays, which is kind of befuddling. Here's a truck missing a front coupling. You can usually get those off of, like, a Japanese Play Rail website or something, maybe even on Amazon. But yeah, I've got a couple of these, so I might keep it, might sell her. Here is James, who is not working. This is a Hit Toys James. Cool. I don't really like the Hit Toys or Tomy models because they didn't really paint the boiler bands or like any of the external handrails or anything. Looks kind of odd, but I mean, I'm sure lots of people love this James. Cool. Yeah, nothing too remarkable. I mean, I have a Mattel James, so it's essentially the same thing, just slight differences. Here is the coach. Oh no, it's broken. No! I was going to say, I'm going to keep this other coach that came with the Mighty Mac because I want more narrow gauge coaches, but it's broken on the front. Man, does it work? Oh, it works. That's nice. Where did he go? Here he is. I mean, you could do this. Like, it will just come off pretty easily, but I don't know if you can actually get more of these couplings online. I assume you can. Someone in the comments will tell me, but you can just, like, set it here and have it push him, I guess. Cool. Here is Victor, who looks a little weird from the front. That's kind of odd. Oh, he's got a piece of hair on his thing. This was a problem with James and, like, that Thomas last time. Whatever. Cool. He does not work. Oh, well. Not terrible. There's not many differences between this and the standard Trackmaster Mattel one. But I don't really feel the need to keep this since I already have the Mattel one. Excuse me. Here's Spencer. And he works. Doesn't sound great, but he still works. I mentioned in the last video how I went through an unscrewing phase as a kid. And I have Spencer, but this front part is broken. So he doesn't really properly sit on his chassis, so I might actually keep this Spencer. Yeah, I've always loved the Mattel Spencer. I don't really like white Spencer. I think he looks kind of weird. I love silver Spencer. I think that looks so much sleeker. And it represents his kind of snarky attitude a lot better than standard white. Cool. Let's throw him next to Victor, Little Hero of the Rails reunion. Actually, you know what? Bam! Hero of the Rails trio, right there. That's cool. Here is the other car that came with Ryan. Don't really care about that. I'm going to put Ryan right here. That'd be an interesting story to see. I just thought of this down because I want to write more Thomas stories. I love writing stories with niche characters. If someone out there can write a story about Boko, Ryan, and Stanley all in one episode, I'd love to see it. Let me lower the camera just a little bit because we're getting down to the bottom of the bag. I know, I see the turntable. We'll get to that in a minute. But we've got a lady here who works. And this is a Hit Toy one. Interesting. Did Mattel make Lady? I don't think so. Interesting how Hit Toys made her. Oh, a little bit of peeling at the back there. That's not terrible, though. Cool. I love how people are complaining like, oh, the Thomas female characters are so one-dimensional and stereotypical. The first female steam engine is called Lady. I mean, she was created by a woman, so I guess she kind of gets a pass. Here's a Dynamite car. I believe this came with Diesel. Oh, yeah, here we go. Trackmaster 2 Diesel with a horrible, horrible face. Look at this face compared to the... Oh, no, the truck just fell. Look at these two faces side by side. Look at that stark difference. This looks like a virgin. This looks like a guy who fucks everyone. Like, look at these faces. These are not the same character. You cannot convince me that. I'm actually recording this the day that the new Train Sim World pictures were released of, like, Thomas and Diesel and the Troublesome Trucks and Annie and Clarabelle. Diesel looks awesome. Like, that new Diesel looks really cool. And I assume his face is basically this, but it's more so scowling like this Diesel, which is kind of glove. I've always hated the CGI Diesel face. It looks horrible compared to this. So I'm not going to put him on the screen because he looks just goddamn terrible. Let's see, here is Spencer's Tender. I guess I can make Spencer the Flying Scotsman now because I have that Spencer Tender from the last video with no Spencer, so I guess I can do that. We'll get this out of here. Here is the turntable. Turns well. And then we got the stopper thingies here. Had this turntable growing up. You can actually... Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. This was actually in my first ever video on this channel, in my Thomas Gets Tricked remake. I didn't have a wooden railway turntable until 2019, I want to say. So I used this, and it looks really, really dumb. So if you want to see this turntable in action, you can go and watch my first video on the channel, and I use this. So, yeah. I'll throw this in the back here. We're getting down to the last few items here. We've got a Tomy Thomas. Interesting. So this person is actually covering a lot of ground here. We've got 1992 Tomy. I mean, this probably isn't from 1992. Oh, it's from 2002. You can see that right there. But you're covering like old Tomy. And there's also another Thomas in here I saw. Old Tomy. You've got like Hit Toys right there. A couple more Hit Toys right there. You've got Mattel, like first Mattel Trackmaster, second Mattel Trackmaster. Man, you're covering a lot of ground here. That's like 20 years, essentially. That's kind of cool, but got two Thomases. This one is actually, this one's in better condition, but it looks a bit sun-faded. I don't know if you can see it, but this Thomas is a lot more traditional blue. This one's more sun-faded blue. Cool. Throw you guys in the back here. Oh, you can't see the one. Sorry. We got two fuel tankers. This one is the better one. This one is really lame because they took off the words. I believe they did this when Thomas went to CGI. In order for a more international appeal, they took off all the words and just put in symbols. Like they did this with the tar tankers, the fuel tankers, the milk tankers, stuff like that. I believe this one... Yep, this is Mattel, and I believe this came with that diesel. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. I don't know what this came with. It just says Thailand on the bottom. There's no year. So who knows where or when this is from. Excuse me, I gotta take a drink of water. Sorry about that, my voice was starting to go, but let's keep chugging on, no pun intended. Here's another truck. Kind of a bent coupling. Not a big deal. You can actually take this coupling and put it on this truck if you wanted to. I don't know. I've got like 6 of these trucks, so what's one more? Let's throw him in the back here. We've got a couple Trackmaster 2 trucks. I think one came with Victor and one came with Scruff, if I'm not mistaken. But they're ever so slightly different shades of green, which is a little comical. Let's see. We're getting to the end here of all the cool stuff. Here is a van. This is Mattel, but I don't know what this came with. I think I talked about this in the last video. I had Charlie growing up from Mattel, and this van came with Charlie. So maybe there was a Charlie in here at one point. Maybe not. I don't know, but cool. Always need more rolling stock. And the last 2 pieces are this red car that came with Scruff and this that came with Samson. Cool. Alrighty, and then we've got the control for Thomas. Very nice. It's not gonna work right now. Well, it's also, oh, it is on. I'll turn it off. Cool. Like that. And then the rest of the stuff, oh, we do have 2 pieces of cargo. The 2 that came with Scruff. The dinosaurs are Sans. But everything else in here just goes to the RC Tim Shed set, so I'll get that put up together. What the hell did I just say? I'll get that set up, and I'll put everything together on the table here, and we'll do our final closing shot. Alrighty, folks, here we are. So I've got all of the engines and rolling stock lined up on the table here. We've got 2 Tomy Thomases. We've got an RC flip face Thomas. We've got a standard Mattel Thomas. We've got a Hit Toys Edward, who is unfortunately broken, but that's not too big of a deal. We've got a 2010 Henry. We've got a Hit Toys James. We've got a 2010 Toby. We've got a 2010-2011 Diesel with a fuel tanker. Hit Toys Boko with this caboose, and I believe he came with this track. We've got a Lady, Emily, and Spencer. And then in the back there, the 2 non-classic series characters. We've got Stanley and Hero. Stanley has that cool truck. We got a couple of narrow gauge characters. We've got Peter Sam with the brake fan. We've got Rusty, and then Mighty Mac with his coach. And we got some Trackmaster 2 items. We've got Diesel with that van, Scruff with his trucks, Samson with his flatbeds, Sans the dinosaurs, Ryan with his trucks, and Victor with his truck. And we got a couple pieces of rolling stock here. I'm not sure if any of these go to any of the single engines. I mean, like, this van might go with this Thomas because you'll see in a minute there is a lot of extra curved tracks, so that might be a starter set, but I don't know. But it's always nice to have extra pieces of rolling stock. And then we've got the controller for Thomas. And then down here, we've got a sadly incomplete RC Thomas set. We've got the majority of the sheds, which is pretty cool. And can I just say for the record, I'm very impressed that these 2 supports are included. These go at the back there, and I had the RC Thomas set as a kid, Sans the Thomas, and mine did not have these. So the fact that these 2 are included and some pieces of track are missing is honestly kind of incredible. We got some adapters. We've got almost a complete shed. We are missing one of the stalls, but we do have the doors. And I do have a couple stalls that don't have doors already, so that'll be convenient. And we've got almost a complete circuited track. We are missing, I believe, 1 long straight piece like this, and then 1 like 1 inch like that. I mean, that could go here. I don't know exactly, but we are missing that. And then there's supposed to be a green tunnel and a herald included. That is sadly not included. And then at the back here, that's supposed to be a buffer. We are missing the buffer, but we do have the buffer and the Brendam Dock sign for over here. Hilariously, it's labeled as Brendam Docks. Oh well. But yeah, we got everything else, which is honestly pretty cool. And then we got some Mattel track over here. For those wondering how you can tell the difference between Hit Toys track and a Mattel track, I mean, easily you can tell underneath here because it says Mattel right at the top there, and this says Hit Toy Company, but also you can't really tell on camera, but this is more gray. This is gray and a little bit of cream, but they are slightly different colors, so that's how you can tell. But what's so great about this is that because the track is exactly the same, I can just do this. Now I got a complete set, and no one would know the difference. But yeah, I think there may be like a starter set because there are enough tracks. You need, let's see, that would be a complete circle set. And then there might be like a track pack with like all of these and then like 4 of these or something. I don't know. This, I don't know what this is. It might be Thomas related. It might not be. There's no branding on it. These 2 doors are just missing their stall. And I'm not sure if this came with this set, but it's obviously for Harold. There was no Harold and no tunnel, so I don't know if this is included or not with the set. But I assume it is Thomas related because it does share a striking resemblance to Harold. But yeah, that's pretty much all for the lot here. I'm very happy to have this complete set. I can't wait to build like an ultimate Tidmouth Shreds because, as I said earlier, I did have this set growing up. I did not have the Thomas. I was missing a couple pieces. Like, I think I was missing one of those railings, but I think I've got a couple of these shed stall things, so I can make, like, pretty much fill an entire turntable with Tidmouth Shreds. Maybe, I don't know, but that'd be cool if I can. But yeah, we got a nice selection of engines here, and I paid $50 for everything. Which is it's a little cheaper than the last lot, but the last lot was a great deal. This was a good deal too. But there are a lot of, I guess, repeat items. Like, I already have most of the things here. I do not have that Henry. I'm going to keep that. I don't have Boko. I'm going to definitely keep that. Don't have Hero. Definitely going to keep him. And I'll probably keep most of the rolling stock as well. And I'll probably keep this diesel. But for the most part, it's stuff I already had. But I did need a couple upgrades. Like, I did need a new Spencer. I did need a new Henry. I also needed a new diesel. So it's nice that I actually have all that now. All that Trackmaster 2 stuff is going. I can't stand Trackmaster 2, and I already have these 3. Couldn't care less about these 2. Already have these. These are going to go, and then Stanley's unfortunately going to go. I was excited to get him, but he's broken. But yeah, I'm unsure if I'm going to keep this Thomas or not. I haven't been able to get him to work. If anybody out there knows how to fix this or would like to fix him for me, let me know. I mean, he is complete. He's got Thomas and he's got the controls, so he technically is complete, but I'm not entirely sure if he'll work. But overall, really happy with this lot. I'm really happy to keep building my my Trackmaster collection, and I'm excited to see what I get in the future. So thank you guys again so much for watching. Don't expect this frequent uploads. I just so happened to find this right after I uploaded the last episode, so that's definitely not going to happen in the future. I mean, it might, but don't expect this every single week. But thank you guys again for watching. I think this will be out before Rock and Roll. I'm going to probably push Rock and Roll back a week. I'm not sure yet, but if this came out after Rock and Roll, then cool. But I don't officially know yet, but I'll make a post on my community tab when I have a decision made. So thank you guys again so much for watching. I know I tend to ramble a lot, but as Wooden Fan 1 put it, the adrenaline rush when you get a Facebook lot is so great. But yeah, thanks again for watching. Hope you had a great March. Well, having a great March, I don't know, but I'm rambling here. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.